Hello everyone, welcome to Humans of Emapta. I'm joined by Saabith, part of my team. With us, if you can let me know, Saabith, what you're doing at Emapta, your role, and maybe a little about yourself.
I am the performance marketing manager here at Emapta. So I mainly look into the BBC campaigns. I'm looking into the lead generation part of things.
So when you say performance marketing, so PPC, why is it called performance marketing? What's the key focus there?
Yeah. So marketing in and of itself is performance. But the thing with this particular type of marketing is that we have separated it from the general marketing idea, and we are more focused on numbers. So it's a numbers driven aspect of marketing.
And you mentioned you happened to performance marketing by chance. But how did that happen?
I've been interested in numbers at a time in my life when I was doing my higher studies, and then interested in people from a very young age, and then tech at a later.
Yep.
I've had these interests at different stages of my life,
right.
And then there was a time in my life where all things basically converged. So I think it was at that point that I realized digital marketing and performance marketing is the
right one. And so in terms of like your professional career, have you always been a performance marketing person, or were there different jobs in between that you've tested out before you realized, this is the one for me?
Sure. So I started off as an email marketer.
Okay.
So it's basically outbound marketing, and from there I transitioned to digital media planning. So the strategy of things, and then campaign management, and then eventually I started to work hands-on with numbers and how these numbers and the basic Excel sheet that I used on a daily basis, how that affected the end result of the company. So how it affected ours. So as I understood why each change that I made on the campaign affected the final end goal of the business, I started to see what is the best form of marketing, of area of digital marketing that can better value addition to the company that I work for, and I figured performance marketing was the right choice.
Right. So far, is it good? Is it the right choice?
Yeah, so far I think I've made the right decision.
That's good to hear. You talk about numbers, data a lot. Some people think data's boring. Do you think the same way? Because I love data as well. Saabith and I, we share that. But someone says, data so boring, I don't know what to do with it. What would be your response to that person?
I'd say beauty is subjective, because everyone doesn't like Picasso's arts or even Mona Lisa. But there are people who actually see the beauty or understand the artist. Once you look at numbers, it's a bit beyond. It's not obvious. Everyone can't just look at the numbers. So I read numbers in a different way than to another person. So it's not presented to me. The picture isn't clearly presented. So it's up to you to match the dots, or just to find out what those numbers indicate or what they're trying to say to you.
That's a very poetic way to look at data. For someone who's interested in digital marketing, what do you think would be the key skills in performance marketing management?
So performance marketing comes at a later stage. Digital marketing has many areas. So we have got social media marketing, we've got email marketing and SEO. So it's up to you to see, basically to understand what is the best fit for you, because you have to do it till the end of your life. More or less your corporate life. So you have to decide which one. So since you've now made the decision to pursue digital marketing, then you have to make a second decision which particular aspect that you have to choose. So if you're interested in numbers, then performance marketing is a good avenue for you to explore. And if not, then there's always digital media planning. So that's the strategy side of things. So there are many domains, but make sure that irrespective of the domain that you choose, it basically links back to your positives or your strengths. In and of itself, it will be a motivation for you to do your work.
Do you think it's ideal? Maybe you've just graduated college. You're looking at marketing. You're interested in digital marketing. Do you think it's ideal to jump straight to PPC, to performance marketing, or maybe start with other fields, subfields first?
It's always good to have an idea about all the areas of digital marketing. And after getting an idea about the possible opportunities that's available or the avenues that are available, you can decide which particular area that you can specialize on.
You're right. Yeah.
As it goes, right? Basically, you need to explore, decide what is best for you, and then go on.
As you mentioned, there's a lot of different fields in digital marketing, and then they each have their own, specific characteristic. If you're a little more outgoing, social media is amazing, right? Or events, even PR. If you're a little more or personalities should be present for a marketer, whatever subcategory or subfield it is.
20, 30 years back, there was nothing called digital marketing. Or there wasn't digital marketing as we know it now. Sometimes even people who've been doing marketing for a long time don't know the difference between marketing, sales, and branding. Basically, they are jargons that we've made up. At the end of the day, we need to see what's the core essence. So that is to understand the person who we are selling it. So to do that, you have to constantly evolve as a marketer. So you should be ever ready to continuously learn, unlearn and relearn. Because that's how you can stay relevant in an industry as dynamic as digital marketing.
So if you're a person who's probably not as interested as or in a dynamic setup where what yesterday would be different tomorrow, when like Google sends out a new algorithm announcement, what yesterday is no longer applicable now. So if you're not that kind of person, maybe marketing isn't like the best job there. There are subcategories or subfields in marketing that maybe are a little more consistent, but in the digital marketing space, change will happen regularly, right? So maybe advice for people who are looking to start a career in marketing, so fresh off uni and then looking at starting a career in marketing.
So just because you've qualified in or got a degree doesn't mean that it's done. So it's not only for marketing, it's irrespective of the field you choose, especially in tech. So you should always, once you come to the corporate sector, you should be willing to learn from anyone, because you can't say, okay, I'm in marketing, so I don't want to learn from sales or IT, because you should more or less be a sponge, and you should grasp all these things so that it will build you up as a marketer in the long run. I'd say the main advice that I'd like to give for anyone who's just starting off is that not only now, but as long as you remain a marketer or even after that. And I would like to quote the late great Steve Jobs, stay hungry, stay foolish.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so in terms of like what you see for yourself in the future, or maybe what you see for marketing in the future, how do you think marketing will be evolving?
Marketing is dynamic, so I can say something now, but it may not be relevant.
It's true.
So 3 months back, so since this is 2023 Feb, the new big thing is ChatGPT. 4 months back, we've not heard of it.
That's true.
So we don't know what are the next big things that's gonna come up, but I think holistically what I can say is that automation is real. It's there to stay, and as marketers we need to adapt. It doesn't mean that it's gonna take away our jobs. It's basically going to make us more specialized and make us more relevant rather than us being involved in the mundane tasks of marketing.
So you always have to be on your toes, because there's something big that's gonna happen tomorrow. So there's this, I would say, misconception that to be in marketing you need to be extroverted, outgoing, really interact with people. Is that the case with you? No, I was laughing because I know Saabith. And same with me. It's for you. It's not always the case that you need to be really, you know, extroverted with very very social, right? And you mentioned earlier that you're very interested in human behavior, but through data, right? Thank you, Saabith, for your time, and thank you everyone for listening. For those who are interested in a digital marketing role at Emapta, I'm gonna plug this anyway. At Emapta, we always have openings in digital marketing, and if you're interested, as per Saabith, stay hungry and always open your eyes and for learning. You'll be like a sponge. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.